Good day everyone, Mr. Cargill here with our next AutoCAD video. Now in this video we're going to look at how we go about completing this drawing right here. And this drawing shows a section through a straight flight of stairs. Now when it comes to exam situations, especially the CXC exam, you might get a question like this that asks you to do a section through a staircase. For this one, it's a sketch question, and a sketch question means that I'm not necessarily drawing it to like standard measurements. You might be given different measurements from like a floor plan, and then you're supposed to draw a section through the staircase, and then you're going to use those measurements now for your sectional elevation. But if it's just a sketch question, you necessarily have to draw to different measurements and so on. But I'll just use some standard measurements. But again, if it's a sketch, you don't need to draw to measurements. Alright, so for this question here, it shows the section through a straight flight of stairs, along with the different parts, the balusters, the newel, the balustrade, the reinforced concrete. Right here, this shows that it is concrete. It is hatched with concrete, and then we have the steel, the rebar in it, and then this shows the different threads and the risers. All right, so here for this we can start. Let's start from the ground up. So I'm going to start with right here and then work my way up. So let's say that when it comes to stairs, there will always be more horizontal movement than vertical movement. The total horizontal distance of the staircase is called the run, and the total vertical distance of the staircase is called the rise. The run will always be greater than the rise because you'll always have more horizontal movement than vertical movement for the staircase to work properly. So what that means therefore is that the treads, which is the horizontal part of each step, will be longer than the riser, which is the vertical part of each step. So with that in mind, we can do this. We're going to make our risers let's make our risers 170, and then we can make our treads like 200. All right, so we can start like this here. So let's start with this. Let me turn on ortho. So I'm going to make this 170, and I'm going to bring this across by like 200, and I'm going to bring this up 170, bring this across by 200, and from here I can copy. Now the thread right here, it has and this part of the stairs called nose or nose. All right, so we're going to have a nose on the step here. So this is going to be, we're going to make our nose a distance of about 10 or so millimeters. So let's make this 10 millimeters. So that's the nose, and the nose just means that the thread kind of goes out past the riser a little bit. So then once we have that, we can copy. And in total, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5 steps in here. So let's say 5 steps or so. So we have 2, so we need 3 more. So I can just copy this. Just click on those 2 lines and copy this right here. So I'll copy from here, bring it to there, and then bring it right here. So I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do 1 more step, and there we go. So now we have that, and our threads have some thickness to it. So we're going to give our threads some thickness. So we're going to make them about 12 millimeters thick. So we can offset by 12. Alright, so that's our threads. Our threads are 12 millimeters thick. Nice. And they have a little curve, so we need to fillet these. I guess I could have just done one and then copy it instead of having to be filleting all of them. So I'll just fillet this. Just click on fillet, click on this, and then click on that, and it will fillet. And I can just click space bar, and then I can fillet this to this here. Space bar again, and I can fillet this to this here. Space bar once more, fillet this to this down here, then space bar, and fillet again, fillet that to this, and oh no, we didn't need to fillet this one. So let me do Control Z. Yeah, we're not going to fillet this one because this is the first one here. All right, and the part of this that will be filleted is kind of behind the post. We're not really seeing that part. All right, so that's good. So now we need the slope and we need the lower part of the stairs right here. So this is 200, so we can just do this. We can bring this across by 200 as well. How do we know the slope? How do we know the slope? There's a number of things we can do. We could draw a line like this from the edge of this and we get this. Or we can just do this. We can draw a line from here down by 200. Down by 170, sorry. Because this is 170, this distance. Or we can just copy this one to make sure. The riser. So we can copy this riser and bring it here. And then once we've done that now, we can do this. We can just line this up. And that. Alright, and that gives us our slope and our stairs. Alright, so now we can get to the rest of the stuff. Alright, so let's draw the steel bar, the rebar here. Alright, so for that, we can offset the slope because the steel is going in the same direction as the slope. So let's go offset. And when I select offset, we'll select through. Select through here. I'm not going to really offset it in a specific distance. Again, it's like a sketch question, and you just don't want the steel to be resting on the base of the staircase. You want it to be inside the concrete, you know, so the concrete has something to adhere to, and that way it does its job and it makes the concrete stronger. So I can put it like anywhere, not too far up though, so I'm going to place it about right here, and that should be good. All right, and then now the thickness of it, it could be sometimes even the diameter for the rebar. So it could be 6-inch diameter, it could be 12-inch diameter, or so on. So we're going to work with 12-inch diameter rebar. So what that means is this: we're going to offset, and we're going to offset this by 12. Good. So we're going to offset the steel by 12, which means that the thickness of the steel rebar is 12 millimeters. Nice. So for that, you can select offset and just set the distance to 12. So there we have our steel. So now we have this down here, and then there's a little curve right there. So what we can do is we can simply just draw a line like from here and the bar here coming across. So let's say it's like from right here. All right, and I'm going to bring this across, no specific distance, just not too close to right here. So I can bring it to like here. That's good. And then I'm going to offset this by 12. So like that. So then I can trim. I can trim those little pieces that I no longer need. So I can trim like right here, and I can trim here, and I can also trim here. I have those trimmed. Alright, I think I'm going to do, we have this little curve here. So let's say from here to here is like 25 meters or something like that. So we could offset by 25. This is not a rule. It's not like set in stone that it has to be 25. Should I select it through offset because I need to offset again by 12. So then I'll offset this by 12. And as you can see, this steel bar doesn't come back all the way here. It just comes right here. So we could stop this right here. Yeah, they need to draw this along. So we can stop this about right here and trim off these pieces right here. Alright, so we have that. So now we can just type fillet, and we can fillet this to this like that, and then space bar and fillet here to here, and then we have like steel bar here. So we have these little round things, and all these represent our bars that are going in the next direction. So they're going in like horizontal direction, going away from us, and the cross section of the rebar would look like a circle like this. So we can just select a circle, and I'm just gonna put my circle like anywhere like here. All right, and I'm just gonna draw my circle with a radius of 6 because the diameter is gonna be 12, and I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna move this actually. I'm gonna move it up a bit. I'm gonna use move and copy and stuff like that. So I go to the toolbar, but you can always use the shortcuts M enter for move, C enter for copy, so on and so forth. Alright, so I have that with a radius of 6. Nice. So once I have that, you can see where the other rebars are located. So one is located like right here after this riser, so we can put one there. So I'm just going to copy it and put it a bunch of different places. Then I'm going to move it. So let's say we have this here right after the riser, so probably about there. And then we have a next one right before the next riser. So next riser maybe like right here. And we have a next one after the riser, maybe like about here. And then we have one before the next riser, so that would be like about right here. And then one after, so like here. And then next one. You could also make them equal distance apart to make life easy. I'm just going off the drawing and making it look the way it looks in the drawing. We can always make them equal distance apart, and that would work better as well. And yeah, I think that's the last one. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need one more, and that one is just right like here. All right, nice. So we have that, but as you can see, that is not 100% correct. A bit of it kind of goes into the next rebar, so we need to bring these circles out a bit, and we can do that by doing this. Just need to have tangent turned on in Object Snap. So you just need to turn on tangent. This one is already good, so I don't need to change that one. So I can just move this from the to the tangent here, and then move it up to the line, and now they will all be right on the line right there. Nice. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the balusters, and then we're going to add a brake line, and then we're going to do some hatching. So let's start with the newel post here, and then we'll do the balusters. So let's say that this with here the distance the newel post is about 30. So we'll go about 30. And the height of that could be like about, use like 750 or 780. So let me say 780. Yeah, about 780 is good. And then so this means that this is 30, and then this comes back down right here. Nice. So then now we're going to have the slope here of like 100 like that. So that slope is going to be the same slope as the slope right here. So that means that we can copy this here. So I can just copy this from here and bring it over here. Again, it's a sketch question, so it's not really any specific measurement here. So let's say that this distance is about 25 or so. So I can offset by 25. I'm going to offset 25 down here, which means I need to extend this a bit. I need to turn off ortho. Sorry, not this, but ortho. And if you do that and you're not seeing it line up, just click again and you'll see the green thing, and it will come at the same angle. And I can put that piece. Right, now we have next piece at the top. Let's say that this piece at the top is about 20, so I can just copy this to here to the top. And let me draw this the circle at the top. So the circle at the top would have the same width, so that's about 30. So I can come here, bring this up by 15, which so the distance here would be 30. So let me measure the distance from up here to down here should be 30. Nice, we're good. So we have that. Now let's say we need to offset this by 20, so offset by 20. Again, if you're wondering where I'm coming up with these measurements and stuff like that, I'm just drawing it from this. It's just a sketch question, so it's just a sketch. You just want it to look like a section to a staircase. But if you're given like a floor plan or something with the measurements of the staircase or an elevation with the different heights for the risers and the distances for the treads and so on, you will use those actual measurements in your drawing. But in this case, we're not drawing it from a floor plan, we're just drawing it from an image without measurements. All right, so we have those. So now we need our balusters. So for those, let's say that our balusters are about 10 millimeters. So let's see about 10. So So we start here. Let's make them about 10 millimeters, 100 millimeters apart. Good. So the fact that they're going to get higher means I'll make this a bit taller, like just to go past there. And let's say that they're like 10 millimeters in thickness. I think, let me see how 10 looks, because I think 20 works better in terms of making it more realistic. All right, 10 is, and then we'll use like 100 millimeters between each of them. So I'm gonna set the through. So when I select offset, I'm gonna select the through method. So I'm gonna select, because I'm gonna be offsetting at numerous different distances. So now I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna type 100, and I'm gonna offset by 10. So I'm just going to keep on doing that. 110. So 100, and then 10. All the way up, all the way up. So this is 100, and then this is 10. So we'll just keep on doing that. Offset by 100, and then offset by 10. Offset by 100. And then we're going to offset by 10. And then I think we can do one more, 100, and then 10. And there we go. All right, so we need to kind of trim out some stuff here. The reason I just leave it like this hanging and not is because we're going to use a brake line, and we're going to like cut off a piece of this, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to do this. We need to trim out a few things. We need to trim out these parts here. So we need to trim out here and here, all the way down. So we'll trim out all of these here. And this and this. So then now down here we can trim out these. Not that, not that, not that. Let me do Control Z to undo that. Wait, did it undo everything? Oh no. Okay. Let me just do this quickly. I didn't mean to undo everything. I just wanted to undo the last thing that I did. But yeah, let me just trim out this very quickly, and then we'll trim out the base. We're going to add a brake line, and then after I add the brake line, we're going to do some hatching, and then we'll be pretty much done. So yeah, it's not a very long drawing. If it's a sketch, if you have measurements, it becomes difficult. All right, so let me do this time again here, and then just be correct. And we'll try to trim multiple things, and I can trim them. Do this here patiently. All right, here we go, and one more to trim, and we're good. Wait, yeah, we're good. So now the rest of the things I can just delete. So I can just delete this easily. So there we go, we can delete that. And then we can delete all of these here. I didn't mean to select all of these, I mean to select these things here. So I'm just delete these, and then we can delete all of these here. And then we can delete these. And finally delete these here. Go. No, I'm going to add a brake line right through here. So I'm going to type brake line. It's going to ask me to specify the first point. So I want it above the staircase. The second point, I want it below the staircase. Like that. And I'm going to press enter. Kind of doesn't really look like a brake, but if I click on this, you can see that the brake thing is actually there, is right here, but it's just that it is so small that I'm not seeing it. So I need to scale this up now. So I'm going to modify, and I'm going to select scale. I'm going to click on anywhere on this, and I'm going to scale it up by, this looks like it needs to be scaled up by a factor of 100. Let me see what 100 looks like, if that's too big. 100 is not too big, that's actually still quite small. I can still scale it up some more. I think I can make this about 5 times bigger. Let me see. Let me just click on this, modify, and select scale, and we can scale this up about, make it about 5 times bigger. So let me see what 5 looks like, and there we go. That's nice. Alright, so across a bit. I'm gonna move it across a bit like this. Like that. Nice. The reason I move it across is because I wanted it to come past that part. So I'm going to trim off everything to the right of the brake line. So I'll do this. TR, enter, enter. And I'm going to trim off everything that is to the right of the brake line. So here, and here, and here. Okay, good. And we can trim out these as well. Some of those things we're going to have to delete. So we can trim this. Everything that is to the right of the brake line. And then we can also trim this, and then I'll delete that circle. So let me see if there's anything else left to trim here. We can trim this little piece here. Yeah, and I think that's about it in terms of trimming. And then we can delete this. So now this is etched in concrete, and then this is etched solid. So let's go with the rebar first and etch that solid. Now with this, sometimes I need to trim the brake line as well. The brake line is very tall, so I can just use a line here like this, and undo the same one here, like this, and then I can trim the brake line because it's just very tall. And there we go. And I can get rid of these lines. I just use them to trim the brake line. Yeah, and that looks a lot better. Now I'm going to hatch this with a solid hatch. So let me go to hatch and just select a solid hatch. Yeah, I want a solid hatch. So let me see if I hatch here. No, that's not the hatch I want. So let me delete this hatch. I needed to select a solid hatch. Yeah, so let me click on the drop down, the hatch, and the pattern. I need a different hatch pattern. It's just taking a while to load up. Let me select a different pattern. Solid. Alright, so I want it to be solid. So I'm going to hatch there, solid, good. And then I'm going to hatch the circle solid. Alright, so I'm going to hatch the circle solid as well. My CAD is just moving a bit right now. Alright, and then we'll hatch that, and then we'll hatch this, and hatch this, and we'll also hatch this here. And there we go. So now we need to hatch this with we need to hatch this the staircase concrete. So that's hatched in concrete. So let me just set this drop down arrow, and I'll select a hatch, and then I can select concrete. So I want a different hatch pattern. So let me change the pattern to concrete, ARCONC, which is concrete right here, and then I can hatch this in concrete. And then if you go to the staircase, the rebar, and it's not hatching, it's saying that you can't find a boundary, you can just split it up into different pieces with a polyline. So if you just select a polyline, and then you draw a line like this, like that, along the rebar, and then once you do that, now you can just hatch the different parts as you go. So hatch this part, hatch this part. So you just split it up into smaller parts so that they're boundaries, and when you're done, you can just delete the polyline, and you will have your hatch. All right. Now this is hatched in wood. I don't know if there's a wood hatch in AutoCAD. The closest thing I see to wood in AutoCAD is ghost wood. So we'll use that, I guess. Or you can just use you can select sketch, and you can draw these little curves here. Looks like wood, and then just copy it from one, bring it to the next one, and so on and so forth. Or you could also use a spline to get the little curves, and then you copy them to different places. But we're just going to use ghost wood because that's the closest thing we have to wood in AutoCAD here. So let me just scroll down. It's taking a while to load up. Yeah, it's just taking a while for me to actually find what I'm looking for here. So yeah. Alright, but you would just hatch it with ghost wood. Yeah, my AutoCAD is moving a bit slow. But if you scroll through the hatch pattern, you'll find ghost wood, and you can use that because that's the closest thing to wood in AutoCAD. Alright, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please drop a like and also subscribe. We are on our way to 1800. So thank you for watching and hope you have yourselves a fantastic day. All right, goodbye everyone, and thank you once again for watching.